My Lord, it's a pleasure to follow the noble Lord Jay, who chairs our committee on the protocol with such distinction. My Lords, the bill, in my view, is necessary and provides the potential for helping to resolve the crisis in the political process in Northern Ireland brought about by the protocol. And there are many aspects which we would prefer were dealt with differently, and all will need to be addressed and resolved in due course. But it is clear that the protocol, albeit implemented only partially so far, has the following effects. First of all, as the courts in Northern Ireland have adjudicated, it rips up the free trading arrangements enshrined in Article 6 of the Acts of Union itself. It runs completely contrary to the cross-community arrangements, not majority rule, which some people are referring to, cross-community arrangements, which are at the heart of the Belfast Agreement, unless people want to change the Belfast Agreement to majority rule. It's contrary to the consent principle. It does, as the Minister has said, upset the delicate balance of the agreements. And it has undermined, and continues to undermine, the institutions of the Ferry Agreement that it was designed and purports to safeguard. And, my Lords, it negates democracy itself. Up until the 31st of December 2020, the people of Northern Ireland, in common with the rest of the United Kingdom, were able to elect legislators to make all the laws to which they were subject. From the 1st of January 2021, every citizen of the United Kingdom living in Northern Ireland has had the experience of having the significance of their votes slashed as the responsibility for making the laws of Northern Ireland over vast swathes of the economy are taken from them, given to the members of a legislature of a foreign political entity of which they are not part, in which they have no representation, not just in relation to one statute or indeed one area of law, but in relation to 300 areas of law. The outworking of Northern Ireland being subject to European Union law, whilst the rest of the United Kingdom is not, has massive, far-reaching, detrimental consequences, both constitutional and economic, which will get worse over time as divergence increases. Given that it is the rest of the United Kingdom which by far is our greatest market for trade, as a result of dividing up our country in this way, we have increasing friction for goods from one part of the United Kingdom to another as a result of needless checks and tons of paperwork. We have divergence of trade, restricted consumer choice and increased costs. We have threats to investment through having different state aid arrangements and regimes for Northern Ireland and Great Britain, as the Minister acknowledged when we discussed this in committee. We are denied the benefit as British citizens of the United Kingdom of UK-wide tax changes by being subject to EU VAT rules. My Lords, as I looked around to try to describe the reality of what confronts us, the only model that I can find that comes close to fitting is the UN category of a non-self-governing territory, which is the current term for a colony. Most colonies today are actually largely self-governing. They remain classified as colonies because they're not entirely self-governing. That such a solution should be thought desirable or indeed workable for part of this United Kingdom in the 21st century beggars belief. We have heard about this bill in international law this afternoon. Of course, nobody seems to object to the breach of international law, which is at the heart of extending unilaterally grace periods or standstill. That's a breach of international law, and yet everybody seems quite content to go along with that. My Lords, the erosion of our citizens' rights to fundamental democratic rights under this protocol is contrary to international law. We should look again at Article 25 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 21 of the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country directly or through freely chosen representatives. That is denied to the people of Northern Ireland when it comes to legislating on large parts of the economy. And, of course, it violates the Belfast Agreement, which commits to no erosion of democratic rights. If you look at Article 2.1 of the protocol, it refers to no diminishment in the rights accorded by the Belfast Agreement, and those who support the Belfast Agreement so vehemently should be defending what we're trying to do in restoring democratic rights to the people of Northern Ireland. So, my Lords, the greatest urgency now is to restore full democratic rights to people in Northern Ireland. We cannot defend and support the sovereignty of Ukraine, rightly so, and at the same time defend and support the trashing of the sovereignty of the United Kingdom. My Lords, whether by negotiation or by legislation, the objective of restoring sovereignty to the people of Northern Ireland, to all citizens of the United Kingdom who should all be treated equally, must be achieved, and with that the full restoration of Northern Ireland's place in the internal market of the United Kingdom.